It's good with the mail, because there's a bloke who's writing for that who said that I'm not an idiot, so it's great. Carry on.
Frank
What's he said I've got?
An MA. He said, you'll probably find out that Carl Pilkington has got an MA in classics.
That's brilliant.
Did
he?
That's great.
But again,
Carry on.
He reared his head again. I think he reviewed the first series before anything had been made. I think because he's a travel journalist. I think the more reactionary travel writers think that, who is this oik that's come along?
Didn't you send the tape to Alan Wicker?
We did. We wanted to get a review, but he was very, very nice and said good luck. He said, I don't feel I can endorse this as it's put back Indian-British relations by 100 years.
What did he say about India, Carl?
I didn't say anything bad. It was just the time.
It was the worst place on earth.
Yeah, but do you know what? Even though I said that, I'll never forget it.
What's your definition of bad?
I'll never forget it. And is it better to have a really bad experience somewhere than one where you go, do you know, like, I've been to a lot of Gran Canaria. I couldn't tell you which is what. Whereas with India, I know I was there. There's still bits of me there. It's a tough place. If you can handle that, it's a proper test of your character. And I've got good memories of it in a way. It's an amazing.
What do you think of the people that live there? So you must think
great.
That
yeah, people were great. Nothing wrong with
them. Carl never has a go at the people or their plight or their. He says what he thinks about a situation. I mean, I think him in the Middle East was incredible. I mean, he said some amazing stuff that isn't. They don't show that side of it. They don't show. Carl was depressed about the wall, you know, and it really moved him. I had a conversation with Carl. I was on the phone for about half an hour, and he was in Africa. He just visited the slums, and he'd done this thing, and he'd helped build a hut.
Friday night comedy.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think it'd be in the programme. It's a bit too heavy, but Carl was genuinely moved and depressed. He felt guilty that he was on telly helping someone because he didn't want to look like one of those actors who go out and do comic relief to go, look at me, look at me. I was going, no, we don't need to show it, we don't need to show it. So he's very, very, very thoughtful about these things. It's not like he's not thick-skinned, he's not an emotionless person. He's the same as anyone, he feels the same as everyone. But he sometimes thinks before he thinks. and
I've got to go to the Japanese embassy to talk about how it's a good place to go.
Yeah, they found out he was going, they want him to talk. So what are you going to say? I mean, this is to do with the fact that they're worried that people aren't going there because they think of nuclear fallout. Or
and I was worried about that. I said to you, I don't want to go, and you said it's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it is.
Was it Japan where you were complaining about them not having toilet doors?
No, that's China.
You said they invented the iPod.
Yeah, he confused Japan and China, of course he did, yeah. But now he knows the difference.
No, the argument was they built a massive, great big wall, but they can't put doors on toilets. It didn't add up to me, that. But, forget that. That was last time. I've moved on. I'm wiser. But with Japan, it's an alright place. I don't think it's radiation. There was earthquakes happening when I was there. It's the food. We've got to sort that out.
What's wrong with the food? That'd be one of the main reasons to go.
They don't cook the fish?
It's just fish all the time. For everything. And some fish that you just go, where have they got that from? You go in fishmongers and you know what fish look like. Sometimes it's like, has someone coughed that up? What is it? What is it? And they're loving it. And that is the worst thing, because at the end of the day, food's important, isn't it? When you go on holiday, you like, you know, that's why I like Italy and that, you get pasta.
Right.
Yeah.
This fish, honestly.
You get pasta here now, I've told you can get it in Waitrose.
Yeah.
So what you're going to say at the embassy is, if you want people to go to your country, there needs to be a dramatic cultural shift.
Just say, you're not going to get radiation poisoning, but you could die from a fish.
Yeah.
If the chef doesn't cut it just right, you might die from eating a fish.
No one's going to go to your country unless they start serving pasta.
They've just got to open it up a little bit. Everywhere
noodles,
you went,
they've got noodles.
I know, but they didn't seem to. It's noodles with fish in. You can't escape it. It was just a fish all the time. It's like living in an aquarium. Honestly, proper struggle with that. That's my thing. As long as I've got a comfy bed and some food, I'm happy anywhere.
Carl, I've got some good news here. This is
sounds like something from Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
This is
just him in bed eating pasta.
This is Javid in Huddersfield. He says, I've got the same experience as Carl. I worked with a family years ago who also had a horse which they kept in the kitchen. You were explaining earlier, someone who kept a horse in the living room. Does happen.
There you go, it does happen.
Does happen.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at some more text. Dear Ricky
Carl, what do you say to those people that say you're not qualified to do a travel show because...
Well, who is? Who is? I've been sent to these countries, I'm saying what I'm seeing. Why do you need to be educated on that.
I agree.
That is actually not a bad point, is it? What would qualify you? Why do you have to be qualified?
Carl, what do you say to these people who say this is another example of dumbing down? Since when was it?
Right.
Let me
Listen,
finish. Let me finish. I'm speaking to... Right. What do you say to these people who say it's another example of dumbing down? Since when are we meant to celebrate idiocy?
Right. First of all, this isn't licence payers' money. We're on Sky. I'm probably after a programme called Dogs with Jobs. So let's not worry about what's good and what isn't, right? So there's one point. Secondly, the other night I was in when Made in Chelsea was on. So before they get to me, there's a lot of other programmes people can have a whinge about.
I agree.
I reckon. I know that I don't always get things right. I don't always give clear information. Sometimes I watch it back and I don't know what I'm talking about.
Sometimes you stop yourself during a sentence and you say, what was I saying?
But I think there's something in there. You said it looks nice. You can watch it with the sound down.
I think
you'll still get something out of it.
It's great.
A lot of telly now, I don't know what it is anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what is going on.
Actually, I suppose the public service element is you go to places that I wouldn't have thought of going to, and I find that I want to go to them. Well, after having seen your programme.
That is good.
That's a public service
and that's
thing,
all I'm
isn't it?
saying. I'm not saying no one should come in. I'm just saying my problems with it.
Some of the kind of tribes people that you meet, how about for Series 3, inviting some of them back to your house?
Thoughts?
No, I don't
Carl,
know.
what do you say to those people that say you're bordering on the racist with the things you say about other cultures?
People have said that, and I don't know if they can actually pick a point, if they can edit it out and send it to me and say this bit, because I don't know what they're talking about.
No, nor do I.
It's an easy thing for people to whinge about now.
I agree.
It's racist.
Some people did say that, didn't they? Was that some?
But I don't know which bit.
I thought there was one bit when he was on a coach and in China, and a lot of them were sort of just gobbing in bags and on the floor, and he found it disgusting.
That's bad, isn't it?
I would find it disgusting if
That's
anyone.
not racist.
Of course it's not. Of course it's not. But it's
and that
again,
is,
it's twisted to say that he's despising a culture.
And Richard, this isn't made up. This isn't us getting on a bus saying, right, listen, we're filming now. Can everyone spit in a bag? That sound, that sort of.
We need 30 Chinese extras with little bags. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, everywhere you go in China, you're just hearing that sort of clearing of throat. Everywhere you go, just that sort of sound, which is horrible. I'm sorry. Honestly, it's like a mobile ring. You're just constantly hearing that noise. And people say, oh, did you see much of China? No, I didn't really see much of it, because I'm walking round with my head down, making sure I'm not standing in the stuff. It's everywhere. But then again, it's a very sort of grey, depressing place, so it adds a bit of colour, if anything. But anyway, that was last time. I have moved on, and I have enjoyed
But what do you say to those people that saying you don't accept cultural differences, and that maybe here it's disgusting, but in China it's acceptable, so you're the odd one out, so you should accept it and go along with it? What do you say to those people, Carl?
But then what's the programme? If I'm just going around like a lot of these programmes do, where they stand there and they go, oh, it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, isn't it lovely? Oh, they phlegm up everywhere.
I'm just saying.
That's what the holiday programme was, wasn't it? Uncritically.
Judith Charm was going,
2 nights.
There's a lovely bit of gob here. You can stay here for 40 quid. Don't slip on the greenies.
Honestly, I don't walk around moaning saying.
You do?
All right.
You do. But you say it as you see it, that's the point.
That's all it is.
I'm going to take some travel. Stay there. Stay there. I know you're keen to go, Carl, but I also want you to meet the actress Jessica Chastain who's coming as well. All right, stay there.
Awkward.
So reluctant.
It's 2:50, Louise Pepper, what's up? Dear Ricky and Carl, my wife and I watched Cemetery Junction last Wednesday. The standout performance for us was Carl as a bald man with sideburns and a tash.
Yeah.
Carl clearly has a gift for acting. Does he have any further roles lined up?
Well, I've offered him a role. I'm shooting a pilot, a couple of pilots actually, at the end of the year, and I've invited Carl to do a little piece there. I can't tell you about it; it's top secret, but he said yes. Cemetery Junction was a good day.
Can you tell us anything about it?
I will, but I just want to tell you about Cemetery Junction. We're filming that. I called Carl up. I said, Carl, do you want to be an extra for a laugh, just for the Pilkey fans out there? And he went, no. I went, oh, go on. He went, no. I said, it's pork chop catering. Pork chop. He went, all right, how long will it take? I went, 20 minutes. He went, all right. So got him a car, he came down, he had pork chops, didn't you?
Yeah.
Good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I'd said to the makeup people, I said, make him look as gimp as possible. So they put on this awful sort of curly wig, gave him a moustache. He looked amazing. But he was comfortable with it because he was sort of hiding behind it. And then just before we shot it, we whipped his wig off. And it was like we'd woken up a baby bird and thrown him out the nest. He was really uncomfortable. It's actually on one of the outtakes, and it's him. I'm crying with laughter because he's looking around, everyone's looking at him, and he said, "This is like a nightmare." And so we thought it was funnier with his little bald head and the moustache, and it worked, didn't it?
But what's interesting about that, Carl, is you were comfortable hiding behind a bit of a mask. You were comfortable watching yourself as a cartoon on the Ricky Gervais show. Maybe you should do some acting.
Maybe you should pop on a Nambas, because then that's like we've dressed up your genitals as a completely different set of genitals, and so it's not your genitals in a way. What do you think of that, Carl?
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. 5 Live. The thing is, I can't remember words.
Right.
So, like, Ricky got me to do an advert for one of his stand-up things. How long was it? 30 seconds? I can't remember. I'm not got to be an actor. You've got to have a good memory. If it was that thing where they just go make it up, I can do that.
You can't remember 30 seconds.
Well, that's what I do.
Honestly, it's really hard.
All my film roles.
Yeah,
I just make them on the day. Is that all right?
I can't do that. It's a tricky bit of.
Carl, what do you say to those people who say, because of your mental disability, that I am bullying you and exploiting you? What do you say to those people?
Carl, interesting question, Carl.
It's been asked a lot, but no one's stepping in, are they? No one's helping, are they? It's gone on for 10 years. They say what goes around comes around. When's it coming round then? When's something going to happen to him? When's someone going to squeeze his head?
What you're saying is, if people are accusing him of bullying, why aren't they actually rather
what's
than
being done about it?
What
are they doing about it?
Oh, this is bullying. All right. Well, what are you watching it for then? It's ridiculous. Of course, not bullying. We're friends. You know, all these people would rather whinge about it. They've all got their conspiracy theories, but what are we meant to do? We're making this. We don't care whether anyone likes these shows or not. We don't care. We'd rather they enjoyed it, of course, but we're not interested. We just say, it's not for you then. We don't care about anything.
You care that some people like it.
Well, because you get the chance to make it again. That's the only reason we care. But if anyone says, do you want to make another one, that's all that matters to us.
He doesn't want to make another. Are you going to do a third series?
No, I mean, if there's anything...
I've come up with another idea.
What is it?
It's him and Warwick Davis going round, Karl on a bike with Warwick in the basket.
That's all and that is the idea, Richard. That's as far as it goes. I said, what then? That's 10 seconds.
You don't know where
title sequence.
Where's the bike going to go?
It'd be going around sort of like weird sort of events and festivals of England, and it'd be great. It's like two fat cooks.
Yeah, but the difference is they took it in turns to cycle and that. Warwick's legs aren't going to reach the thing. It's always going to be me cycling him about. And even though he's small, he's still heavy, you know. I've had him sat on my lap, which is an odd thing to say out loud. But Ricky sorted it out for him to come in and sit and have a chat with me once. And he's heavy for a little
fella.
Why
did he sit on... weren't there any chairs? Why was he sat on your lap?
There wasn't a chair for him, was there?
No, there was only 2. I only ordered 2.
Right.
Oh.
Carl, I've been looking at the list, 100 things to do before you die. 41 meet your idol. Why didn't you go with that one?
Never do that.
Who's your idol?
I haven't got any.
You haven't got any?
No.
Okay.
No?
No, it's best not to.
But you respect him. You like Bruce Willis, don't you?
Yeah, but that's all he is. I don't want to meet him. I just like Die Hard. Well done, Bruce. But I don't want to meet them. What do you want to meet them for?
I don't understand that. I've never understood that as what you can get out of that.
What's the best that can happen?
67, join the Mile High Club.
No. What, again?
Ridiculous.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Why?
It's nothing to be proud of.
Well, I don't get it. And I don't like using the toilet on a plane for using it as a toilet because I always feel like I'm in a rush. There's always someone might be waiting outside, timing me. Do you know they know how long you've been in there? So just the idea of that is horrendous.
They're the most unpleasant of all toilets, aren't they? Jessica Chastain.